10, 11, 12 says calculate the amount of change and the percent of change and indicate whether it increases or decreases. So we always go from the starting month to the previous month. If I had 161,000 and I went to 210,000, it increased, right? So what we have to do is we have to find the amount of change, and we're always going to divide it by the starting one. So I'm first of all going to subtract. How much did it change by? 210,000 minus 161, 123,000. So 49,000 is how much it changed by. What is the percent change? I'm going to take that 49,000 divided by what it started at, which was at May's 161. So divide that by 161,000, and we get a crazy decimal again, 0.30434 ... We want to round to the nearest tenth of a percent, so we have to first change it to a percent, move it 2 places, and then round it off, so 30.4. Since there's a 3 behind the 4, I don't have to round it up any. So my amount of change was 49,000. It increased by 30.4% then. Number 11, same kind of thing. Calculate the amount of change, percent of change, and indicate whether it increases or decreases. I like to do the increase or decrease first. From March to April, it went from 186 to 217. It increased, right? We got more. How much did it change by? So I'm going to subtract. 217 minus 186 means 31,000. 31,000 is the amount of change. To find the percent change, I'm going to take my 31,000. I'm going to divide it by what it started at. In March, it was 186,000. So 31,000 divided by 186,000 gives me 0.166666666. So changing it to a percent, move it 2 places, round it to the nearest tenth. Since there's a 6 behind there, I have to say 16.7 is what my answer is to the nearest tenth of a percent. And always go back to make sure you rounded it off to where it says, because they do like to change those. One problem will say tenth, the next will say hundred, the next will say whatever. And so in business math, that's the most common thing I see. You do it right, but then you rounded it to a different spot than what the question said. So just because all the examples say tenth doesn't mean every question is going to say tenth. Again, here we're going to calculate the amount of increase or decrease, and then the percent change. This one in August, it was 233,000. It went down in September to 186,000, so it decreased instead of increased. We're still going to subtract the big one minus the small one, so 233,000 minus 186,000 means it changed by 47,000. Percent change, I have to take the 47,000 that it changed by divided by what it started at. In August, it started at 233,000. So it's always the starting one. It went from August to September. So 47,000 divided by 233,000, I get 0.201716 ... Changing it to a percent, move it 2 places, and rounding. Since there's a 1 followed by a 7, I've got to round that up to a 2. So 20.2% is what my percent change is.